Guys, let's shuffle on to a really interesting topic. It's all centered around budgets, profits, things like that. We've obviously just quoted what Deadline is reporting Mission Impossible to make. Yeah, $250 million worldwide. Well, it looks like Skydance knows something that we don't, along with JP Morgan, because Skydance Media, the company behind Mission Impossible at the moment, has closed a $1 billion credit facility at JP Morgan. Pretty huge stuff. Like, that's them really moving up in the world. That's quite big. So just for a bit of a background before we discuss it, Skydance Media has closed a new 5-year, $1 billion credit facility led by JP Morgan, doubling the amount of a prior credit arrangement led by the financial institution. So David Ellison's co-finance and production house is poised for a high point Wednesday with the global release of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which is on track for a franchise record global opening. The new credit facility extends the company's long-term relationship with JP Morgan, and it replaces a 4-year, $500 million revolving credit facility established in 2020. And announcing the new facility, Skydance also noted a recent $400 million investment, rounding value the company at more than $4 billion. That's more than what Lucasfilm was purchased for. That round was led by KKR and the Ellison family, and joined by existing investors Redbird Capital Partners and Tencent. So I think Tencent's China owned, which is a bit of a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Along with the Mission Impossible franchise, Skydance has backed Top Gun Maverick, as well as popular streaming films Ghosted, The Tomorrow War, and The Old Guard, The Adam Project. So, I mean, it's pretty big. We also, a statement as well. It says, we're incredibly proud to build upon our long-standing relationship with Skydance Media as they continue to grow. This facility and the immense support from the entertainment banking community stand as a true testament to the strength of their business and quality content across platforms. That's a pretty big thing. What do we think? Because that's doubled. They've just doubled their credit instantly. Previous one, $500 million. Now they're like, yeah, billion. There you go, done. Valued at over $4 billion now. Skydance is. That's crazy.
I'm trying to think of what does Skydance put out?
Well, Mission Impossible.
Okay, they're the ones doing Mission Impossible. Okay,
they had a hand to play, as I just read out, basically. So they had a hand to play in Top Gun Maverick, The Tomorrow War on Prime Video, The Old Guard, The Adam Project on Netflix, Ghosted on Apple TV. And they've also
Transformers, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. And and they also, isn't Skydance now the one which has John Lasseter working for them with a kids animation studio? Isn't it?
Oh, maybe, which would be a huge plus.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So they really
they've been around for a while.
They've got they've got a pretty good pedigree.
I mean, I'd say that's them turning into pretty big players. That's massive, I'd say.
I mean, they're probably right behind. Oh crap! What's that company that did Dune and
Legendary?
Legendary, yeah, they're probably right behind Legendary as far as how big they are. As far as I guess you'd call them like an independent major production company because they work with several different studios. But yeah.
Well, they're the production company that then has distributors similar to Legendary, so sort of co-finance. So Legendary, the deal that you're alluding to, Legendary typically does like a 75% production budget for most of their stuff. So Legendary are the guys that actually make the Godzilla stuff. They make it, they own it, they run it, and then Warner Brothers comes in and gives them 25% and distribution rights, just to bump up. The final 25%, the final quarter.
I think Skydance also worked on the latest Terminator films.
They fucking did. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Maybe.
Oh, Blue Sky is who
they did. You're right.
With.
They did Dark Fate. That's right. And
isn't Blue Sky part of Skydance? Isn't it the same company?
It might be. Let me look.
They did Star Trek Beyond. They've done a few of the Mission Impossibles. They've done some of the Jack Reacher. They've done a few of the Terminator movies, Jack Ryan movies. They've done some Tom Cruise stuff. So, I mean, he likes working with them.
Yeah.
I was just looking at, they did hire John Lasseter for their animation, Skydance animation in January of 2019.
I thought
Yeah,
so.
it looks like they're
Blue
actually
Sky doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
Well, maybe it's just Skydance Animation.
I
Maybe
think
he's
so,
just
because it
working
says
Yeah.
defunct. It used to be 20th Century Fox was Blue Sky. Yeah.
Yep, and it's just
Oh.
Skydance animation now.
And so John Lasseter works for that. That's hilarious.
Yep.
So Disney buys Lucasfilm for $4 billion. You know, Pixar's going down the drain. They're losing, you know, over $1 billion this year alone already. Now Skydance comes in valued at over $4 billion. They've nabbed John Lasseter, the person who made Pixar a success.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's hilarious. It'll be really interesting to see what happens, I think.
yeah.
With Skydance now, because that's a big move. I mean, Mexican Iron Man's in the chat, and I mean, he straight up said it himself. That's a massive financial, massive financial thing. It's huge. That's massive, and for them to be valued at over $4 billion, that's crazy. That's really, really, really big. Really, really big. Yeah, huge.
It almost feels like these studios smell blood in the water with all these like Disney films bombing, all these other woke media companies that putting out this garbage and completely bombing at the box office. And it seems like some of these other studios are investing their money in their products and trying to take top spots here.
Animation's tough, you know. DreamWorks just had their worst opening ever with Ruby Gillman. Teenage Kraken, which just came out, and that new Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It looks terrible. Looks awful.
Yeah,
and so, and I appreciate that they're trying to do it with a different palette. They're trying to. It almost looks like a little kid drew the characters and all the fonts. Yeah, I agree. It's awful. It's not for me. But animation I think is a really tough gamble, and I think with somebody like Lasseter, who wasn't he forced out of Pixar because he hugged people or something? Yep. I think something ridiculous. Yep. And it's because of that ridiculousness that I'm glad Pixar is struggling. It's because of the ridiculous of Kathleen Kennedy that I'm glad Lucasfilm is struggling, and so on and so forth. But I think as a whole, animation is really a huge gamble. It really is. And that's why I think the mainstream access media or the entertainment media was so down on Super Mario Brothers, because it was a video game adaptation, and who knows how it's going to go,
message.
Right? Yeah, no message. Right.
Illumination Studios, who did Mario, I think they're going to end up taking over top spot as this Nintendo Cinematic Universe starts to unfold and they start putting out more content. I think they'll easily take the top spot. I mean, when you invest $100 million into an animation movie and it turns out and makes over $1 billion,
you got to be careful, though. I mean, at the end of the day, I hope they don't think everybody wants to go see a Luigi movie. Right?
Yeah, if they start getting stupid with it and doing these spin-offs.
I think they're going to do.
I do say that, Tom. What do you say?
Here's the thing that's funny about that, because I was like, I bet you Yoshi is probably the most popular Mario character. I went and looked it up. Luigi, by a long shot, is the most popular of all the Mario characters, believe it or not.
Except Mario, or more than Mario?
No, more than Mario.
My gosh.
Yeah, he sells more stuff than Mario, I guess. He's the more popular of the two brothers. I can see it, though.
Luigi's Mansion
and some other stuff.
Too.
Okay. Well, I can
don't be surprised if we get a Luigi's Mansion movie.
I think they'll do it.
But anyway, you guys are
Donkey Kong movie. That'd be interesting.
I agree. Yeah, sure.
No. You guys are right. Ari Illumination, though. I think that they're going to take over. But it'll be interesting to see what Skydance does with John Lasseter under them. Because I think they did announce that there was a movie that they were working on with John Lasseter, or it had already been released or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but I know that they've already started and their sort of relationship is there, which again just adds to that market share value that they've got of, you know, over $4 billion, which is just crazy to think about.